If this is you, you already know the feeling. You replay every word she says, looking for signs she cares, but deep down something feels off. Maybe this feels familiar. You send the first message, and the silence on the other side is louder than anything. You suggest plans, but she always has an excuse. You catch yourself wondering, am I the only one trying here? Am I just fooling myself? And it stings, because part of you already knows the answer, but you don't want to admit it. You can't help but question, if she really wanted me, would it feel this one-sided? You wonder how many more times you'll have to feel invisible before you finally face the truth. But here's the real question eating at you. What are the unmistakable signs that a woman simply isn't interested, and how can you finally see them for what they are? Most men get the situation wrong because they confuse effort with value. You think if you just try harder, send the right message, plan the perfect date, prove how much you care, she'll suddenly feel something she doesn't. But attraction doesn't work that way. A core masculine principle is this: your time and energy are not meant to be begged for, they're meant to be respected. When a woman isn't interested, her actions will tell you long before her words do. But too many men ignore those signs because they're chasing the fantasy of what could be instead of seeing what is. Real strength isn't about clinging, it's about clarity. It's knowing when to recognize the truth even if it stings, and moving with self-respect. Because the moment you stop trying to force interest, you reclaim the power that was never hers to give. You realize it's yours to hold. You're sitting across from her at the cafe, the steam from your coffee curling into the air, but the silence between you feels heavier than the table itself. She's scrolling her phone, half smiling at something that isn't you. You try to spark a conversation, searching for that spark you want so badly, but her eyes dart to the door like she's already somewhere else. Inside, you whisper to yourself, maybe she's just tired, maybe it's just a bad day. But the truth presses harder with every second. Her laugh is softer when it's for you. Her touch no longer lingers. Her presence feels like absence. The chair across from you is filled, but somehow you've never felt more alone. And in that hollow space, one thought refuses to leave. If she wanted to be here, wouldn't I feel it? Men carry false beliefs that keep them stuck in denial. You think if she isn't showing interest, it must be because you're not good enough yet, that if you improve yourself just a little more, she'll change her mind. But attraction isn't earned like a paycheck. It's felt instantly or not at all. Another belief is that persistence will make her see your value. The truth is, if she's not choosing you freely, she's not choosing you at all. And maybe the hardest belief to break is this: her rejection is not a reflection of your worth, it's a reflection of her desire. She didn't ghost you. You disappeared from yourself. If she wanted you, she'd make it clear. You wouldn't have to solve a puzzle. Her silence isn't confusion, it's clarity you don't want to accept. The 1% headman sees what most men refuse to see. This is what he understands. Interest doesn't need to be chased, proven, or forced. If it's real, it flows naturally. If it's not, he lets it go without hesitation. He doesn't waste energy convincing anyone to value him, because his value isn't up for debate. This is how he leads with presence, not pressure. He shows up fully as himself, rooted, grounded, and clear about what he deserves. Instead of asking, "Why doesn't she want me?" he asks, "Why would I invest in someone who doesn't?" That shift is everything. It keeps him from spiraling into self-doubt and keeps him anchored in self-respect. The headman knows that rejection isn't a wound, it's redirection. And because he holds that truth, he never loses himself in the chase. He makes her interest optional. His respect for himself is not. It hits you one quiet night when the phone stays dark, when her name doesn't light up your screen, and you finally stop making excuses for why. For the first time, you see the pattern clearly, not as rejection, but as freedom. Every unanswered message, every canceled plan, every half-hearted glance wasn't proof you weren't enough. It was proof you were pouring yourself into someone who was never holding space for you. And in that realization, something shifts. You remember the man you were before you started chasing, the one who carried his worth without needing validation. You feel the weight lift, not because she came closer, but because you stopped waiting. And in that silence, you hear your own voice again, steady and certain. I was never meant to beg for love. I was meant to choose it, and to choose myself first. So now you see it. Those little signs you once brushed off weren't mysteries to solve. They were answers staring you in the face. The hesitation in her voice, the distance in her eyes, the silence that spoke louder than words. It was never confusion. It was clarity. And the real shift happens when you stop asking, why doesn't she want me? And start realizing, why am I still waiting for someone who doesn't? Because the moment you stop chasing what isn't yours, you create space for what is. That's the quiet strength most men never find, the ability to let go without losing yourself. And here's the truth you'll carry long after this ends. A woman's lack of interest doesn't define your worth, but how you respond to it defines your power.